Hello beautiful souls, and welcome to another weekly card guidance video. This week we say goodbye to Magical May and we say hello to Jubilant June. Now May has followed, if you think about it, we had Motivate March where we were tapping into what motivated us. Then we had Activate April where we took action upon that motivation. Then we moved through into Magical May, which allowed us to embrace the magic and make things happen. And now we're moving through into Jubilant June. And Jubilant literally means taking great joy in the little things and allowing ourselves to feel triumphant and to tune in with our true selves. So what a beautiful month to move into. Now we are looking at Monday the 29th of Magical May through to Sunday the 5th of Jubilant June. And this week we have a couple of cosmic energies, if you will. On June 1st, we have Mercury, the planet of communication, leaving its shadow phase. So pay attention to any messages or insights that you may have received over the last 4, 6, 8 weeks. Pay attention to those, because we had the eclipse energy, the retrograde energy, and it would have been bringing a lot of things up, a lot of things back from the past, a lot of things in from your team. So pay attention to whatever messages and insights you discovered or uncovered during that time. And then on June 3rd or 4th, depending on where you're located, we have the Sagittarius full moon. Here in Australia, it's on Sunday the 4th. It's actually in the afternoon, so we can celebrate it on the 3rd or the 4th. Full moons will always illuminate what needs to be acknowledged in your life. She will shine a light on it. Do this shining, illuminating, acknowledging from a gentle, accepting space, and be prepared to leap outside of your comfort zone. Sagittarians love to be adventurous. My husband's a Sagittarius. So make time for fun activities, to be jubilant and feel the joy of life, to celebrate how far you've come, and then let go and embrace how far you can still go from here. So I have pre-shuffled the cards. I am being guided to sort of go with the books again this week. I don't know why that's happening with the weekly, but I'm going with that. And the first chakra card we get is the root chakra, the card of possessions. Now, our root chakra is all about us feeling safe, stable, grounded, abundant in our life. So what better way to do that than to stop and smell the roses, to be grounded in who we are, to be at peace with who we are, to take joy in the little things. And then it says down here, belongings, finances, assets, and treasures. No matter how many belongings, material belongings you have, no matter how many zeros or finances you have in your bank account, you are your greatest asset. You are your biggest treasure. So when you can stop and take joy in the little things, when you can feel triumphant about your life, and when you can tune into your true self, you become your biggest asset, your biggest treasure. So it's said that we are spiritual beings living in a physical world. Part of living in the world is coming into right relations with the material realm while recognizing the source of all creation. While we know that money and possessions alone cannot sustain our happiness, we also know that consistent denial of material needs can bring great stress into our lives. Organize your finances. Take stock of your possessions. Gain an awareness of the balance of money and other physical energy coming into your life on a daily basis. It is time to re-evaluate, to honor what is precious to you and that which matters most, and to let go of any unnecessary attachment or hold that certain items may have on you. Consider what items genuinely add value to your life and which ones are just filling space or creating clutter. perhaps blocking what you truly desire from coming in. We are temporary visitors to this earthly plane, so let go of unnecessary greed for wealth and accumulation of possessions. Instead, celebrate this call to enjoy the temporary pleasures of a balanced material life. Cultivate honor and share what you have with others. And what I love about that is we've been talking about Gemini and the twins and how one twin represents our human self and the other twin represents our higher self. Our human self is the one that gets caught in the stuff, the possessions, the material world stuff. Now we need that. We need that to survive. But how much of it do you need to live a good life? You don't need to be rich to live an abundant life. And then they actually talk about the card, the picture itself. It's sunset on the edge of a meadow, and a forest child sits in quiet reverence. Her antlers carry an interwoven collection of spherical light and dangling symbols. Cherished memories of moments fully lived. There's a key, a doorway, a message from the moon. Each possession a simple symbol of some greater truth that she now carries within. In her hand she cradles a sacred glowing sphere, the embodiment of balanced earthly abundance and the feminine power to receive. She carries it as both a gift to herself and an offering to others, for in this very moment she has all that she needs. For in this very moment, she has all she needs. Being grounded in this very moment. And then I was guided to use this new deck, because we are balancing our human self with our spiritual self, our luminous humanness, the human that we want to shine with the luminous, the light. And there's a few things in the book that I wanted to read. The word human is the key to who we really are. HU comes from the Egyptian word for God, and man comes from the Sanskrit word for mother, mind, earth, and bread. As mere mortals, we were born to connect heaven and earth, to shine and to feel the world, to feed the world. But you must have your feet planted on the ground while your head is oohing and ahhing in the heavens, or we become lopsided and fall off balance. We become incapable of being who we came here to be. It is a definite feeling of balancing our human self with our higher self, our earthly self with our heavenly self, our human self with our spiritual self, our human being with our spiritual being. And to remember that even in our most clueless moments, we're hurtling through space at 67,000 miles per hour, perched perhaps upon the head of a great Buddha in the sky, as we embrace our depth, as well as our angelic lightness. We can step into the spotlight of our lives, activate the light show, and pump up the volume of our self-expression. So these are the cards that I will be using this week. And what has come out is actually quite beautiful. If we look, I don't know if I'll go to the book or not, we'll see. If we look at this root chakra card, she's holding this beautiful light. And the first card we get out is be the big one. Now for me, this means being the bigger person. If somebody triggers you or upsets you, we talked about this a little bit in last week's weekly. Your human self will want to react. Your higher self will know how to act from a more loving, compassionate, understanding, accepting space. And there is this definite message coming through to balance your human self and your higher self, your earthly self and your heavenly self. How do we do this? By checking in with you before you check in with anything else. And let me know in the comments, what's the first thing you do when you wake up? Majority of people I speak to, they lean over, grab their phone and start checking emails, checking their diary, checking Facebook, checking their emails. It's really important to check in with yourself before you tech yourself. So before you reach for your phone, now I'm not going to lie, I reach for my phone to push snooze, but in that snooze time, I don't go back to sleep. I lay there and I do, what am I grateful for? Where do I want my day to go? I envisage how it's going to go. If there's something that I'm wanting to manifest, I will play out the whole story, the whole movie, the whole script in my mind. I do all of these things so that I am checking in with myself before I check in with the external world. And the last card we get is divine, hopefully I can say this word, discombobulation. And this one I'm going to look up. But looking at the picture, I feel like it's being in control of your life. But let's have a look. I don't feel like I need to look up the other two. Being a spiritual being, living a human being experience means having a life full of contrast. As you enter the heavenly realms in your meditation, your stomach gurgles and you realize it's time to enter the restroom. It's about things, life, what is it? Life is what happens when you're busy making plans. It's one of my favorite sayings. We have all these plans and then life happens. Or as some people like to say, shit happens. But I like to make it more positive by saying life happens. Being human can be messy. And sometimes the more discombobulation, the more heightened the transformation. A telltale sign of accelerated progress is a life where from time to time it looks like a circus spilled upside down after a tornado. If your life is always spick and span, it may be time to take some chances, to roll in the mud and scribble outside the lines. Call to mind the aspect of your life that you consider most unruly and dub it holy. It's the area that refuses to behave, the wound that just won't heal, the financial snafu for those of you who do not know, is situation normal all fucked up. The financial snafu that doesn't seem to resolve no matter what you do to fix it. Those are the sacred places where heaven seeks to reveal itself most prominently. Feel the humble simplicity of awakening to the resplendent being that you are, here to walk step by step upon the earth, integrating your glow into the grit and gravel along the path. When you open yourself and feel the light of the universe pouring through you, let it land all the way into the airy-fairy nitty-gritty of your shabby chic life. I really like that we got that card. So, know that you are not, your worth is not defined by any number. Not your weight, your age, your size, or your bank account. Your greatest asset is you. And sometimes we get so hung up in our human being experience and the possessions of how much we have, we forget how much we can be. So check in with yourself before you tech yourself. Check in with yourself before you let numbers define you. Whether it's numbers in your bank account, the number of likes on your Facebook, whatever it is that you are allowing to define you, check in with you. How can you connect in with your spiritual being, your higher self, and all that you are here to be? Because it is about this balance. And by checking in with yourself and that beautiful full moon shining light on us, having this jubilant fun and adventure. We can have more or less our path lit in which direction we should be going. And yes, I use the should word, but should from the space that feels good to us, not what the external world is telling us to do. So I'm going to call this week, life is what happens while you're busy making plans. Make the plans, see them happening, write your script, know that you are your greatest asset. No numbers define you. Be the bigger person, be the bigger one, be the brightest light, show people the way. And know that sometimes when life gets a little messy, it's because there's things you're holding on to that you really don't need. Your possessions, your finances, your belongings, they do not define your worth. You are your greatest asset. You are your greatest treasure. So go and shine like the beautiful diamond that you are, with many facets, many layers, many angles. Go shine. I hope that makes sense. Have an amazing, amazing week. So much healing, love and laughter. Your intuitive life coach, Tracy. Stay well, stay safe, and above all else, stay true to you. And remember 2023's motto. This year is all about me. There's no limits to what I can have, do, or be.